We need to realize that as Christians, we are the salt and light in the world. We are supposed to be that taste of something different. We are supposed to be that light that shines in the darkness. I don't know if you guys heard anything about this past week. I believe it was February 11th through the 13th or something like that. That the first ever satancon was held. What? Okay, but it gets so much crazier than that. Apparently, the satancon was hosted, it was in Arizona, but it was hosted by the Satanic Temple. If you guys know anything about the Satanist point of view, they claim that they're not a believer of anything, that it really is atheism. They just hold Satan as this symbol of absence from theology, but it seems very convenient that it happens to be the devil of the Christian theology, and it seems heavily centered around Christian theology. It just really makes me wonder, what are they getting together to discuss at these conventions? But here's the thing, Christians came out and protested against them. Good for them. Good for them. We should be speaking up about this. I'm so glad to see a couple of Christians grab a backbone and show up to something and be like, hey, no, we are not worshiping Satan in this land. So, what got crazy was a Catholic bishop stepped up to stop the protests. His name is Thomas Olmsted, and like I said, he is a bishop. And his whole thing was, oh, we should just rely on prayer and the sacramental system. That is the best way to protest. And we should fast for them and all that. Yeah, first of all, prayer, fasting, all that great things. The sacramental system through the Roman Catholic Church, I do not believe in. But to silence Christians who are actively protesting against something as wicked as SatanCon and call yourself a bishop, a religious figure, is so mind boggling to me. And I I'm just gonna call a thing a thing. I see a lot of demonic activity involved in the Roman Catholic system. It really stems down to a lot of their pagan beliefs that they brought in, ancient mythicism. We see it all throughout. It's horrible. You have a system that is overtly ran by Satan and his minions. And then you have a system more subtly disguised as Christianity ran by Satan and his minions. And the two almost join together in a way that allows for this to happen while leading so many astray, because you have those who are acting on the behalf of Christianity, speaking out for the cause of Jesus, being silenced by a prominent, looked up to religious figure in their community. I'm only assuming. And then you have this overt pagan idolatry happening at this quote unquote Satan con. It's complete. Like, could we have any more red flags going up that we are in the end times? Like, I just, this is why Christians need discernment. Coming from somebody who was saved while attending a conference, I know how impactful these things can be to one's life. We need to realize that as Christians, we are the salt and light in the world. We are supposed to be that taste of something different. We are supposed to be that light that shines in the darkness. To sit there and silence Christians is no better than what I see in this coexist movement. It basically boils down to, do you believe hell is real or not? And if you do, why do you not see the urgency to minister and protest against such a wicked satanic movement? I don't know exactly all the organizations that showed up to evangelize, but hopefully there was some effectiveness there. But being that a bishop came out and spoke out against it. I can't imagine that there were very many Bible believing Christians there. It honestly sounds like it was a group that was motivated by theists. Okay, right track. They're we're trying to convert atheists into theists, but it even says in First Peter that, or in James, that even the demons believe and tremble. Simply believing in God is not enough. It's trusting in Jesus Christ alone as your sole sufficient savior. So if you're going to just sit there and be like, yeah, well, we just don't want them to worship Satan. Well, they need Jesus. It's not just enough to say no to satancon. We need to say no to a lot more than that. And to have something prop up like this in our quote unquote Christian country really just shows the track that we're heading on. And it really has nothing to do with coexisting. It has nothing to do with being open to new ideas, because the very idea of the satanic system promoted by satancon is to rebel and to be anti with what Christianity values and the morals put forth. It's paving way for a very loose society with very satanic standards, and that is not what we should want. And being that that is something, I mean, it's 2022 and this is its inaugural event, we have to ask, like, with the drastic shifts that have happened in the course of the last couple of years, what exactly is it that is allowing such wickedness to be able to prop up all of a sudden? And I think there's a lot of Christians that are too afraid to ask those questions. I think there's a lot of Christians that are too afraid to speak out against something, to be that voice in a time where we can clearly see the walls closing in and nobody wants to say that. We want to see the world saved, but we don't want to be the ones to deliver the message. And I think that that's very fundamentally wrong, first of all. I think it's missing out on a huge opportunity to serve God and serve others by sharing the gospel message. And to sit back and watch the church just play dead while something like this, while death itself is literally rising up and creating a whole convention, is absolutely absurd to me. The fact that we are just letting this happen, and it was an event that was able to go off without a hitch. It was not stopped in its infancy, is actually disgusting to me. Carl said, I've heard some Satanists say they don't worship the devil, they just don't believe in God. Like, it makes no sense. Yeah, see, and from our point of view, that's like, okay, you don't believe in God, so that is, I mean, it's not directly worshiping the devil because you can't see it, but for us in our spiritual eyes, we can see it for what it is. But yeah, I mean, that is the claim. But you also have to ask, why is Satan himself the idol that you prop up to be the representative of your system of beliefs? Because the thing is, you're saying, oh, it's just an atheist religion. Well, why do you believe in the devil? And I get, we don't believe in the devil. But why are you using any symbol that comes from any kind of religious system if you don't believe in any religious system? And that is why I think it is totally ridiculous to claim that they have no foundation in satanic worship. And honestly, they can say it all they want, but I know that there are members who very much are strongly ingrained in Satan worship, and those who may not even know that they're in Satan worship, but are practicers of the occult, which again makes no sense of how you're going to be in the occult and be an atheist, but there are many occultists that are in Satanism, and then all these other crazy practices.